Hi all. Good morning everybody. Welcome to English video class. This video has been recorded as part of ICET Public School online classes. Dear students, today we are going to learn a new topic from English lesson. The topic is a story. The story has been written by a famous Indian writer. His name is R.K. Narayan. But R.K. Narayan, you might have learned other stories of R.K. Narayan also. This story is entirely different from all those stories. But generally, we can say that what R.K. Narayan writes is about the life of common people. His topic generally becomes an ordinary man. And let us look at R.K. Narayan's about the author. So I request all my dear students of grade 6 that students of grade 6 that whenever you are learning English lesson means English story or poems or any topic you are learning from English, any writing you are learning from English, minimum you must remember permanently the name of the story or the name of the poem and the writer. You got it? So you must not forget any name of authors you have learned from the school days. The stories. So whatever the stories you have learned, suppose do you remember any of the story and writer you learned in grade 5? No, right? So now onwards, in grade 6 onwards, remember the name of the story and the writer. The writer means the name, the author's name and his time. His time means that when he was living, his time, and from where that is an Indian writer or an American writer or a British writer or from any other country, an African writer can be, or like that, different writer from different countries. So minimum you must remember these two things. Did you get it? Name of the story, name of the person who wrote it, and from where he is, the nation of that writer, and the time, or whether it is in 2000, whether it is in 90s or 80s, like that you must know that. So this is the story which we are going to learn today. Is the title of the story is Everest Reactions. In your textbook, page number 56. If you have textbook, everybody, you can take the textbook, open page number 56. There we are discussing page number 56. R.K. Narayan, you know that his complete name is Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy is his complete name. That is why that R.K. Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer. So in short, we call R.K. Narayan. He is an Indian writer. I will tell a few things about that. R.K. Narayan is an Indian writer. He was a famous Indian novelist. Okay, number one. He was a famous Indian novelist. His place is near to us, that is from Tamil Nadu. He is from Madras. Now it is called Chennai, where his place was. Then what about his writings? His writings always about ordinary people. That means common people. That anything happens in my house or your house, just like common people's. That means daily life was his topic of writing. So that is another special thing about R.K. Narayan's writing. Then another thing, his father was an headmaster. Then another thing about R.K. Narayan is that he studied in university, from Mysore University. We know that Mysore University. So from there he graduated. While to get entrance, so to get a chance in Mysore University to take admission test is there. So in the admission test he failed. one time. First he failed, then the next year, second time he repeated and he got opportunity, then he graduated. So it was his studies. And after that he worked as in different careers, like he first he joined as a teacher, then he worked as many other technician or something like that. He worked, but he did not find satisfaction in that. Then finally he decided to be a writer, and he started to write. Then his first story, Swami and Friends, was the first story that was published in the Hindu newspaper. Now also we have the Hindu newspaper. So in Hindu newspaper, his stories published the first time. And he worked in he worked in other Madras. There was a newspaper also. In that newspaper also he has worked. Then finally he devoted his entire life as a writer. Then he wrote Malgudi Days. You might have heard sometimes. Malgudi Days is of his story. And like that, two gods and a god is of his story. Like that, different stories are there. You will learn like that. Many stories of novels also there. He has written novels and stories. So this is about Arkin. At least you may. And his time is 1906 to 2001. He died recently in 2001. He died May 13. So this is what about R.K. Narayan. So we can say he lived in 90s. So let us look into the story, what he has written in the story of Everest reactions. So I request everybody, please take your textbook in hand. While I am reading this textbook, you can look into the textbook, and that will help you to understand so every time I do say that, so whenever I am reading the textbook, you must look into the textbook. Possibly you may keep your finger over the lines where I am reading and mark the word meaning, underline the sentence structures, and everything you can note down at the margin of the textbook, so that you will remember the visual of your page, your textbook page. So that will help you for examination. When you remember, when you think of, you can imagine that textbook itself, you can visualize in your mind. So that will help you a lot to recall the fact, recall the story and all. So you be familiarized with the sentences and words. So let us start. The title of the story, as I told you, that Everest reactions. So reaction we know, Everest also. Everest reactions. So Everest reactions, Everest, we know that Everest is the name of a mountain. Reactions also we know that. So Everest, what are the reactions the Everest can do? Maybe the Everest, we know that full of snow and all ice cubes. So whether the ice is going to melt down and it is reacting in that way, whether it is reacting to the climate change or our global warming and all, is talking about the story. So the title may suggest like that, whether what is going to say the story, Everest is reacting. So let us look the story. Actually the story is about a 12-year-old boy. His name is Thambi. So okay, this is not about the Everest is not talking, and Everest is not a character in it. It is a story of a 12-year-old boy, Thambi. So we will come to know more about Thambi and what he does do in the story, what is his nature, what is his character and behavior, and everything we will learn today. At the beginning, the first few parts we will learn today. So I shall read the story. Please look into the book. He was the youngest member of the household, Thambi, now 12 years old, who came in with the news. It was his habit to go out and keep dashing back every little while with reports of cricket scores, flying saucers, traffic accidents, and other such matters. So this is about Thambi. First paragraph. Thambi is he is the youngest member of the family. Thambi is the youngest member of that family is 12 years old. His name is Thampi. His habit is that every now and then, every time he will go out, from his home and to the street and all, and immediately he will come back. He will dash back. Dashing back means that he will come back fast to house, and he will, at the time, he will bring any news from outside, what he heard and what he got, that he will declare the news. He will report the news in the house. Maybe the news generally about cricket news, or maybe any sports event result, or maybe about a flying source. I saw something is flying in the sky, or something like that news, or maybe an accident took place in that street, or like that. He will come out just to avoid the inactive mood. To make it active, he will go out and he will collect some news and come back to home, and he will report the news in his neighbors, and in his home he will say the news. That so the news generally of cricket score and like that, or maybe about any accident, or maybe small accidents or something like that, he will report. That is what his habit. This time he came with a news. So I hope you got an overall idea about the Thambi. This time, today he came in crying out, "The Everest has been conquered. They have reached the top." People thought he was joking. Today he came with the news. His news is this. His sentence is this: that the Everest has been conquered. They reached on the top of Everest. This was the news reported by Thampi, our 12-year youngest boy, reported. So the people did not believe it. The people thought he is just joking. Yeah, actually, what Thampi generally doing, that every time what he reports cricket scores or any other accident report and all, generally he report the truth only. He will not tell the lie. But in next paragraph we can look. Next paragraph. Although Thampi was generally an accurate reporter, occasionally, perhaps when he felt that people's interest in living was flagging, he would continuously rouse them with stories of dacoity or arson in the neighborhood, stories that would not bear a moment's scrutiny. So in the paragraph says that about the Thampi is an accurate reporter. He will report only the fact and the real thing only he does report. But occasionally, very rarely, perhaps when he felt that people's interest in living was flagging. That means the elder people, their interest of living, they becomes very inactive. Their interest of living flagging means very dull and gloomy. It is going like that, not active. When he feels that the people are not active, in order to make them active, he will cook up some story, unreal story he will make. Some fake story he will report. That news may be about dacoit. Dacoit means a robbery. That means a gang of people are coming and showing the gun and other instrument, making the people threat and grabbing the things and going away for like that. Such in film and all what you see now, like that, such kind of robbery took place. So maybe the news, in order to make the people's life active, so he will say such kind of robbery fake stories. Or maybe arson means that setting fire. So this also just a kind of a robbery, that the people, that gang will set fire and make such kind of phobic fear among the people, and they will grab the things and they will they will drive off. Such stories and all, this Thampi will report. That is fake. That he will cook up the story and he will report to the elders. Why? Because the interest of living, if he found that the interest of the people living flagging, that is going inactive and not very, they are very dull, and so in order to motivate them, in order to electrify them, Thambi will report this kind of news, fake news, very occasionally. Otherwise all his news are very accurate and very clear. So this time he reported this, whether this is a fake story to make the people active, he is telling, or really Everest has been conquered or not, is we have to find out that. So stories that would bear a moment's scrutiny. And so what the story he is making, so he will not think of any moment's scrutiny, any moment's test, checking. He will not check what he is telling, and so what he is telling to the elders and all, whether it is possible or not possible. No, for him no matter. Just to make the elder people know, to make them active, he will say any lie. So they will ask him, so come here, from where you heard, how can you say that, who told you, and you should not say like this, the people will, they will scold and they will become active. That's enough for that is. So now today he said that the news is this: the Everest has been conquered, they reach on the top. Now next paragraph, look. Such tales would make the elder sit up and ask where he had heard them and so forth, and the young man would go away pleased that he had succeeded in steering his elders from their torpor. This seemed to be such an occasion. Thambi tried to run away after declaring the conquest of the Everest, but he was caught by the ear and asked to explain. So the next paragraph says that Thambi, I told generally, very occasionally he will say the fake news and all. Why he is telling such news now? Such tales would make the elders sit up. So when they hear this kind of a robbery has happened, some thieves came and they grabbed many things and they left. So so the elders may be very dull and lying and they were inactive. So they will get up, they will sit up. They will sit up and ask him that from where you heard this, who told you, and like that, can you say like this? So for such questions elders will ask and scold him. So the young man, this young Thambi, he will run away. So for him that's enough. His intention was to stir them. Stir mean to the tea we will put the sugar and all, then using spoon we will stir it. Yeah, or salt we will stir in curry and all. So stir. So in order to stir the people, the elder, so he will put some news, just like putting salt and sugar. He will put some news, fake news. So they will ask, who told you? How dare you? Like that they will ask. So that the boy will fly away. He will run away. For him it's enough. He succeeded. So his intention was, his aim is to make them active. From inactive mood to change into active mode. So he succeeded. He will fly. He will. So that is why he is asking to avoid to steering elders from their torpor. Torpor means that they are from their lethargic mode. Lethargic means inactive mode. Lethargic, torpor is the word. So they thought that this may be such an occasion. He is telling this report. Maybe in order to make the people active, is reporting like this. Is the elders thought first like that, but he was caught by. So when he was reporting that the Everest has been conquered, they reached on top. So that one elder person, one person caught him, stopped there. He was running, telling this, crying this, shouting this news. He was running. So somebody caught him and asked him, explain. From where you got, tell me, explain. To ask him to explain. Then he asked the questions. Where did you get this event? Where did you get this news? Who told you about it? So he asked, Thambi was caught by a person. He heard this news, caught him and asked him, tell me, from where you got the news? Who told you this? Then Thambi got it over the radio in the next house. Then he said that I got from the radio. So from the next house they were playing radio. From there I overheard the radio news. From the radio news I got this news from radio. Next house, So he's just advising him. Next house, how often have you been told to keep your books and not loaf all over the place in sun? How many times I have told you, Thambi, that not to go out in the sun and don't wander around other house and don't go out of the house. How many times I told you to open your book and study. He was advising it. Next house, so you went to next house. So how often have you been told? How many times I have told you to keep your books and not loaf all over, not to wander all over the place in the sun. Then Thambi is answering, I was studying all afternoon and went out only for a moment to listen to the radio in the next house. I was learning only. I was opening the book. I was learning only till all afternoon, just for entertainment, just to listen the radio news. A moment I went out. Just a moment I went out to listen to the radio. To get the news, I went out. I was in the home only, not wandering. Just a moment I went to the next house to listen to the radio. What is wrong with our own radio? Then he asked. The elder person is asking him that. Then what is the wrong with our radio? You can listen to our radio, right? Finding that the subject was getting unnecessarily twisted, the young man declared, the Everest has been climbed, and that's all I know. So elder, then you can listen to our radio. Why you should go to next house? And then he thought that topic is twisting, changing into some other matter. He is coming to advise him not to go to other house and all. Then he is asking, finding he thought that the subject is deviating, unnecessarily twisted. The young man, this Thambi again declared once again, the Everest has been climbed. Everest has been climbed. That's what and that's all I know. What about our radio and that radio? That I don't know. Everest has been climbed. That is correct. That I know. Don't be absurd, cried the elder. Then the other elders and all, they said that, Thambi, don't make fun of others. Don't be absurd. Absurd means don't declare without clarity, without knowing much, without sure. Don't be absurd. Don't make this kind of doubtful news. Don't be doubtful. He cried. The elders are telling that. Oh, who has been telling you such a cock and bull story? Never. It is not at all possible. It is just a cock and bull story. So cock and bull story meaning it is given in your textbook that cock and bull, a story that is unlikely to be true, but it is used as an excuse or explanation. This is to climb an Everest is just like a cock and bull story. That is never happening. It is not going to happen ever at all in the history of in the life of a human being. It is not at all possible. It is a cock and bull story. Who told you this kind of cock and bull story? That is not possible. Who has been telling you such a cock and bull story? Such a cock and bull story, who told you to report this? No, it is elders are telling like that. They are scolding Thambi not to spread absurd news, not to spread doubtful. I knew long ago that it would be climbed, said Thambi. Then Thambi said that he is only 12 years. Already actually I know one day Everest can be conquered. Even I guessed. So they are living at the foot of Everest mountain. Okay, so that is why they are very familiar with the mountain. They are not in Tamil Nadu, not in Kerala, the place. They are near to Everest. They are living. So they can even from very distant they can look the Everest also. They all are living at the foot of Everest. So that is why they are that much familiar with the mountain Everest. So Thambi is telling that 12-year-old boy only. So he also knows that there is a mountain called Everest, that is the tallest mountain in the world. It cannot be conquered. And the elder people and everybody, they will tell that. So Everest is the mountain human being cannot be conquered in any day at any time. It is not at all possible there. So Thambi at that time said that I knew long ago, not now. From my childhood onwards, long ago onwards, I know that it would be climbed. One day Everest also can be conquered. This I know already long ago. Thambi is telling that. So Thambi is not only a very naughty boy, he is an intelligent and powerful, that means anticipating things, seriously considering. Such a responsible person is Thambi, even though he is 12 years old only. So that was the Thambi's, his nature, his character was like this. Then at that time when Thambi said that already I knew that one day it can be conquered, the elders groaned. At that time elders are grinning their teeth, they are making noise, they groaned. How could it be? It is impossible. Then the elders are telling that no, never, it is a cock and bull story, it is impossible, it is impossible to do. How can you say like that? Elders are telling that, elder people are telling that no, Everest never being conquered. There are many reasons for that. It is not possible for a human being to conquer. Now why they are telling, why the elder people are telling like that, why it is not been conquered, it is not really, it is not possible to conquer. Thambi is telling lie. What his report actually? So he is reporting the fake news, or the radio is just was messaging that means a possible news, or what it is actually he misunderstood or something. What we can come into the reality, we can find the fact and the story, what the writer is trying to say and all. So now I would like to conclude my today's class here. I have taken now I request all my dear students of grade 8, please just send a summary of the part I have taken, only not the entire story, okay? Summary of the part now I have taken, please send to me as a voice message in WhatsApp right now, immediately after this video. Now so no need to look into the book and all. Now you remember something, in your mind, that you send to me. Say that what you remember about the story now, how much I have taken, that much part summary, you just speak, that you send to me. Okay, no need to look into the book. Even if you are looking into the book, no problem, but you never read it. Don't read the book. I need only the very precise summary. Okay, that you just what you remember now, that you send to me. After that you read the textbook, or you may read the textbook one time, then you send the summary to me. Okay, summary should be in your own words, okay, not the words taken from the textbook and you are copying. No, what you understood, that you say in your words as a voice clip and send to me. I am waiting for that. So that is today's work. I am waiting for that. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day. Wish you all the best. Okay, bye bye.